Let's start by giving all praises to the Most High, whose true name in Hebrew is Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, whose true name in Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, which in Hebrew is the Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles by the Holy Spirit, who taught us his truth. Honors to the brothers, making their bodies a living sacrifice to push the gospel. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, which would be the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians who make up the lost 12 tribes of Israel, according to scripture and according to prophecy. But the hopeful elect would be 1/3 of the Israelites who will return back to the Most High during the last days to receive salvation, while 2/3 of Israel who don't turn back to the Most High be destroyed in judgment. We back with another lesson through the mercy of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. This is going to be Remember the Help from Heaven, number 28. And it's going to be titled, God Have Shut the Lions' Mouths. God have shut the lions' mouths. Another lesson dedicated to the miracles of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And this is Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope. So the things written in the past was written for our learning in the future. We can look at these ancient records to prepare us for the future, which is now. And through the understanding of the scriptures, you see what constantly happened to the true believers in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah. They were constantly persecuted, through imprisoned, and condemned to death. That's why the things written aforetime was written to prepare us for the future. So through the understanding of the scriptures, we should be prepared for this great tribulation, this persecution we about to face. But also with the persecution that came to the true believers in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, the Lord also gave us the miracles. He gave us the miracles that he performs for our forefathers, those that trusted in him. So yeah, not only do we got to be prepared for the trouble that we gonna face, but we got to be prepared for the miracles, because the scriptures opens up our mind to the possibilities of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah. What the elect pray for, Lord, whether we part of the elect, those who receive salvation, what we gonna pray for versus what the world is praying for is gonna be two totally different prayers. The world gonna be limited in the things that they ask for, but through the understanding of the scriptures, we seen the many miracles of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, from Old Testament to New Testament. And we gonna have faith on those miracles and more here at the end. So yeah, the Lord spoke of the persecution, but there's going to be miracles to come with that. And that's why when we come to the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 10, it says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. And you shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So the Lord said, first, don't be afraid. Expect to get through in prison. Expect to get through in a FEMA death camp. Simply because we Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, and especially if you're a believer in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, expect to get through in the prison or FEMA death camp, that we may be tried, have tribulation, trouble for however long. It's going to be a test of faith, but the Lord said be faithful unto death. So even if we must face death, go through with it. Because what's that reward? The crown of life. And there's plenty examples of that in the scriptures. You know, our forefathers who trusted in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, how the Lord delivered them, how the Lord came through. And the Lord is going to come through for us on a whole nother level here at the end, which is now. So again, the lesson is titled, God Hath Shut the Mouths of the Lions. Now, you could probably guess that we're going to be talking about the book of Daniel. But before we get there, we're going to come to the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. Now, this is a conversation, or this would be the inner thoughts of the wicked, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. These are going to be his thoughts, his inner thoughts that he has as he round us up and throw us in these FEMA death camps and start executing and exterminating us. Just going straight to the point, Wisdom of Solomon 2:17. Let us see if his words be true. Let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the son of God, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. And that's who we profess to be. The children of Israel, the sons of God, the sons of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. That's who we profess to be, boldly too. The white man want to test that. So let us examine him with despitefulness and torture. That's why the Lord said, fear none of those things that we shall suffer. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying shall he be respected. So eventually they want to test the theory if we the children of the Most High. So they going to test that theory through torture, to break our faith, to see if the Lord comes through, and ultimately some of us going to get put to death. A test of our faith and to see if the Lord come through. But no, even if you got to die for the sake of the gospel, that don't mean it's over. What the Lord say, be faithful unto death, and you be given the crown of life. So you're going to be raised up immortal. But we're going to show an example in which Daniel was faithful unto death. Daniel was cast into prison. We're going to show an example. But this will be the book of Daniel. We're going to start chapter 6, verse 13. Then answered they and said before the king, that Daniel, which is of the children of the captivity of Judah, regardeth not thee, O king, nor the decree that thou hast signed, but maketh his petition, meaning his prayer, 3 times a day. So the decree was that nobody could pray to any other God for a certain length of time. Then you continue to pray to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. And then you got some haters that spied on them and snitched on them, so that what? They could get Daniel killed. And how does that apply to now? Well, eventually it's going to be illegal to serve Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. It's going to be illegal to do these videos, illegal to teach, illegal to call on those names. That's what's coming. Then the king, when he heard these things, was sore displeased with himself and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. And he labored to the going down of the sun to deliver him. So unlike today, this king actually favored Daniel. So the king regretted that decree that he passed, that anybody that's found worshiping or praying to other gods was to be put to death. He regretted that. So what? He delayed in getting Daniel, trying to figure out how he could get Daniel out of that situation. Then these men assembled to the king and said unto the king, Know, O king, that the law of the Medes and the Persians is that no decree nor statute which the king establisheth may be changed. So there was nothing the king could do. He had to go through with executing Daniel. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, Thy God, whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. So the king already believed that Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai will deliver Daniel. But see, Esau the white man not fully convinced he want to test out that theory. So it's going to all be fun and games when he snatch us up, torture us, and start putting us to death. And the stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet, with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. And the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting. Neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him, so he couldn't sleep. Then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste unto the den of lions. And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God, whom thou servest continually, able to deliver thee from the lions? Then Daniel said unto the king, O king, live forever. My God hath sent his angel and shut the lions' mouths. That's the title of the lesson. God hath shut the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me, for as much as before him innocency was found in me. And also before thee, O king, I have done no hurt. Then was the king exceedingly glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken out of the den, and no manner of hurt was found upon him, because he believed in his God, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. And the king commanded, and they brought those men which had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions, them, their children, their wives, and the lions had mastery of them, and brake all their bones in pieces, or ever they came at the bottom of the den. So they dropped to the bottom of the den, and before they could hit the floor, the lions tore them to pieces. The King Darius wrote to all the people, nations, and languages. So that was the point. Daniel was delivered from the lion's den. And what was the point? Verse 22, my God hath sent his angel and have shut the lions' mouths, and they have not hurt me. So that's the point. Serving Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah and Esau, even the white man, wouldn't to see if we truly the sons of God, he's going to do any and everything in his power to see if that's true. So, yeah, they could throw us in the lion's den again, or it could be a den of tigers, or they could throw us in a pool infested with crocodiles, or they could throw us in a pool that got sharks or is full of piranhas. We don't know what Esau is going to be doing to us, but we do know he got the guillotine, the firing squad, lethal injection, death by being hanged on the rope, probably be burning us with nuclear powered furnaces. We went into that before. Lethal injection, gas chamber. There's no telling what Esau gonna do. But however he wanna execute us, if we faithful unto death and part of the elect, more than likely the Lord is gonna come through and deliver us. But even if he don't, if we part of the elect, we part of the elect, you still gonna be given that crown of life. You know, death is not gonna prevent us from receiving that blessing, the blessing of the crown of life in the kingdom. But the bigger point is when we get Job 5:23, check this out. For thou shalt be in league with the sons of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. So what did it say? Daniel 6:22. God hath sent his angel to shut the mouths of the lions. So the beasts of the field, the lions, they was at peace with Daniel. And we gonna have that same peace with the beasts of the field, with the wild animals. So whether Esau try to feed us to a pack of lions or a pack of crocodiles or to the sharks or it's the firing squad. If it's written in our story for us to be delivered, we're going to be delivered no matter what Esau does. But if it's in our story that we got to die for the sake of the gospel, we're going to die for the sake of the gospel. But death is not going to prevent you from getting your reward from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. That's how some brothers and sisters going to get their reward. Is by being faithful unto death. But again, everybody's story is written different. But if our story is to be delivered, we're going to be delivered. No matter if it's lions, tigers, everything Esau does is going to fail. Now, the lions not eating Daniel, that wasn't just a random coincidence, because Daniel got through in the lion's den more than once. And we're going to get that second account here in the Apocrypha. We're going to come to the book of Bel and the dragon. Then Daniel said unto the king, I will worship the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, my God, for he is the living God. But give me leave, O king, and thou shalt slay this dragon without sword or staff. The king said, I give thee leave. So Daniel convinced the king that he could destroy that dragon without touching it. Then Daniel took pitch and fat and hair, did sieve them together, and made lumps thereof. This he put in the dragon's mouth. So the dragon burst in sunder, meaning exploded. And Daniel said, Lo, these are the gods ye worship. So you showing the king, hey, you worship false gods, gods who have no power. When they of Babylon heard that, they took great indignation and conspired against the king, saying, the king is become a Jew, and he hath destroyed Baal, he hath slain the dragon, and put the priest to death. So they came to the king and said, deliver us Daniel, or else we will destroy thee in thine house. So the people was upset with the king that he let Daniel destroy the dragon that they worshipped. So they threatened the king, give us Daniel, or we're going to kill your family. Now when the king saw that they pressed him sore, being constrained, he delivered Daniel unto them. So he didn't want to deliver Daniel, but he had no choice for the sake of his family. And this is the point, who cast him into the lion's den, where he was 6 days. So here he is again in the lion's den, this time for 6 days. And when the den there were 7 lions, and they had given them every day 2 carcasses and 2 sheep, which then were not given to them, to the intent that they may devour Daniel. So these 7 lions were fed daily, but the day they threw Daniel in there, they didn't feed it, so that they would eat Daniel. Now there was in Jewry a prophet called Habakkuk in the Old Testament, who had made pottage, which is stew, who had broken bread in a bowl and was going into the field for to bring it to the reapers. So Habakkuk prepared food, but the angel of the Lord said unto Habakkuk, go carry the dinner that thou hast into Babylon unto Daniel, who is in the lion's den. And Habakkuk said, Lord, I never saw Babylon, neither do I know where the den is. Then the angel of the Lord took him by the crown and bare him by the hair of his head, and through the vehemency of his spirit set him in Babylon over the den. So the angel of the Lord teleported Habakkuk instantly to Babylon. Habakkuk cried, saying, O Daniel, take the dinner which God hath sent thee. And Daniel said, Thou hast remembered me, O God. Neither hast thou forsaken them that seek thee and love thee. So Daniel arose and did eat, and the angel of the Lord set Habakkuk in his own place again immediately. Upon the 7th day, the king went to bewail Daniel, and when he came to the den, he looked in, and behold, Daniel was sitting. And the king cried with a loud voice, saying, Great art Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, God of Daniel, there is none other beside thee. And when he drew him out and cast those that were the cause of his destruction into the den, and they were devoured in a moment before his face. So the same people that got Daniel threw in the lion's den for 7 days, they got through in there and they got devoured immediately. But the point here too, Daniel was in that lion's den for 7 days. That's why it says upon the seventh day, the king went to bewail Daniel. But Daniel was in there chilling. And not only was Daniel with a pack of lions for 7 days, hungry lions for 7 days, Daniel was in there chilling and he was in there eating. Like they throw us in the FEMA death camp, one of their main tactics is going to be to starve us out. Because most people, you can break them and break their faith by starving them. Well, the Lord had Habakkuk teleported to Babylon to give Daniel some food. The Lord can have somebody bring food to us in the FEMA death camp by teleporting them there. The point is, Daniel was delivered on more than one occasion from a pack of hungry lions. But what the Lord say, the beasts of the field should be at peace with thee. Not only was Daniel delivered from the sword, which the sword would have been the teeth of wild beasts, he was delivered from the famine. And the famine was him being shut up in the lion's den. That's why when we get Job 5:22, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. What was the destruction for Daniel? It would have been in the form of those lions. What was that famine? Him being in the lion's den for 7 days with no food. Daniel was delivered from both, from the destruction and the famine. Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the field, neither was he afraid. And that's the miracle that the Lord performed for Daniel. We're going to come to the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 15, verse 7. But Maccabees had ever short confidence that the Lord would help him. We said that same faith, that same confidence. Wherefore he exhorted, meaning encouraged his people, not to fear the coming of the heathen against them. So when the enemy come in like a flood, don't be in fear. The Lord said, some of us going to be through in prison, but do not fear none of the things that we going to suffer. Don't fear, but to remember the help which in former times they had received from heaven. So when you get snatched up, when you get delivered up, when you about to be put to death, don't fear, but remember. Remember the help that our forefathers received from heaven, and now to expect the victory and aid which will come unto them from the Almighty. So when there's no way out, expect that help from heaven to come through. Expect to get the victory. No, don't break down, cry, don't lose faith, don't lose hope. Remember the miracles. Now, this is the book of Ecclesiastes 1 and 10. Is there anything of whereof may be said, see, this is new? So when we delivered from death, rather it be a pack of hungry lions, rather it be the firing squad, rather we threw in the gas chamber or electric chair, rather they throw us in the swamp for the crocodiles, whatever it may be, and we come out unharmed, people gonna be confounded. They're gonna say they can't believe it. We never seen nothing like it before. It's gonna be new to them. But the scriptures ask the question, is this new? And the answer is, it had been already of old time, which was before us. So the miracles that's about to be performed for the elect, the help that we about to receive from heaven, it's nothing new. It's just new to this lifetime. But the earth has seen these miracles before. And the miracles were written in the scriptures to open up our mind, to prepare our mind for the help that we're about to receive. So yeah, you got to have a strong mind to face this persecution we about to face, but you got to have an even stronger mind to expect the miracles. Because to receive the miracles, you got to be put in a tough place. That's the only way we're going to receive that help from heaven. You got to be put in a situation in which there's no way out. So imagine being through in the cage for the lions, for the tigers, for the crocodiles, and they leave you there. for 7 days. I think 6 days is 144 hours. So imagine being with some wild animals for over 100 hours. And the beasts of the field not gonna touch us. And then not only we in there chilling with these wild beasts, lions, tigers, bears, crocodiles, the Lord teleports somebody there to bring you some food. Now wild animals go crazy when they see food. They get aggressive. So not only are you there with the wild animals, you eating in front of the wild animals. And the wild animals be on their best behavior. So yeah, you got to be strong for this persecution, but you got to be even stronger mentally to expect the help that we about to get from heaven. Lord willing, that was informative. Till next time, Shalom.